then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I won't get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be
Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are having a great hump day. I feel a cough coming on a second. Day. There we go. That's how we're going to do it. But if you guys didn't know, today is Liberation Day. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh, let's see here. What are we going to do first? Let's go ahead and knock out the morning ritual. Looks like Rose Stoller as usual. First, and what do we got here? Not a sponsor. Who you? Number two, West Virginia Pappy. You are deterred. Who else we got in the chat today? Let's see here. We got Bradley Collins showing up. Debbie Chandler, Deanna, Tim Huther, Loretta, Gibbsby. Gibbsby, I've not seen you since in forever. Good to see you, girl. Tucson Prepper showed up. Vegan cookies, one of my favorites. Skanes girl, Grumpy Panda. Haven't seen you in a while as well, my friend. Barry Payne, good morning. Vegan cookies. Yeah, I said that already. Let's see here. And oops, Libertas. Libertas, Libertas. It's that's like the Liberty commercial, you know, Liberty Mutual, Liberty, 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 something like that. Anyway, so you guys got some words written in here. Let's see what do we got. Tim says, "Good morning. 2 days in a row, I made it. Gonna be lurking in the shadows today. That does happen, and that is a-okay. Why isn't my phone telling me to do stuff for? Let's see here. Vegan cookies. I don't know what that flag is. It's too small. You're making a smoothie. I love it. Skanes Girl says, gotta reheat this coffee. Smoothie sounds great, but I will be having a hamburger patty with bacon, cheese, and egg on top here shortly. That sounds delicious. Alrighty then, showed up. I think all my verbal cues are like off. Alrighty. No, I can't even like something's wrong with my voice. Canada. Oh, nope, something's wrong. Okay, so it's gonna be a weird show today. Ian showed up, West Virginia Pappy. Sup? Okay, guys. Let's see. I've got so the inspiration for this live stream, and this live stream could actually be a little bit longer than normal because there was a guy that I popped into my YouTube wall, stream, thread, whatever you want to call it. Okay, just popped in there, and he's talking about like it was he believes that because of an executive order that Trump is planning martial law on April the 20th. If you guys are aware of this executive order or this conspiracy theory, um, put a one in the chat. Kind of wake up the chat for me. I appreciate you guys. I kind of need to know if you guys are aware of this situation. I can tell you that my coffee is extremely hot and I am ready to trot. So I've been doing the research. And when I ask you to do something, that also tells me what the lag is. It tests the lag to see if you guys are there. 5-5, whatever it may be. What's up, Bob? Good to see you, man. Bob has fallen from the YouTube graces of the number one guy. He's trying to catch up. Trying to catch up. Bradley had not heard of this. Okay, good. Not aware. Not aware. Not aware. So in my research, I determined that there were four major questions that needed to be answered. I'm jealous. I got cold coffee. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I have during live streams, I have constant 100%, 180-degree coffee because of one of my lovely followers who sent me not one but two coffee heaters that merges perfectly. And when I say perfectly, I mean it's got like a little thing on it it's actually kind of warm that you put on it to keep your cup like right in the spot you want it to be. Um, I love you, girl. Love you, girl. All right, do you realize yesterday was April Fool's Day? Yes, I do, but the executive order was written in February. I believe it was February. So, yes, I know yesterday was April Fool's Day. I did not go down that rabbit hole. But, so, like I said, I've done the research and there are four questions that need to be answered. Okay. So, first of all, the first question is what is the significance of April 20th, 2025, and the declaration of martial law? Um, the next one is has the US government ever declared martial law? And the third was based on that history, what could martial law look like for Americans today? And the final question would be if Americans believe that martial law is going to happen on April 20th, what should they do to prepare for it? I did create I'm not asking you to answer. I know that we've already got 17 votes. We've already got 17 votes in here. I'm not asking you to answer now because I'm going to take you down this rabbit hole, okay? And we're going to see what comes. We're going to see what rainbow pops out on the other side. But the question is, do you think martial law will hit the U.S. on April 20, 2025? 0% say yes, Trump's planning it. 82% say no, it's just rumors. 18% say maybe, depends on borders. And 0% say only in some states. Now, with that said, Skanes Girl says, I have a heated cup. It's already packed and sitting in Kansas. Well, that doesn't do you any good today. Remember the rules. Remember the rules. One is none, two is one. Let's see. What do everyone usually does on 420? Just say, I know, right? I know. Uh, that, that is not part of this live stream, young lady. Uh, God's prepared warrior. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so with those four questions, let's go ahead and dive into this. With the very first one, so the significance of April 20th and the declaration of martial law. So, based on available information and discussions circulating online, the idea that Donald Trump might declare martial law on April 20th, 2025, appears to stem from a combination of speculation and analysis of his recent executive actions, and symbolic associations with the date itself. Here's why this specific day has been highlighted. One, executive order timeline on January 20th, 2025. Gee, that was an interesting day, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Trump signed an executive order titled Declaring a National Emergency at the Southern Border of the United States. This is a real executive order. He really did sign it on his first day. This order directed the Secretary of Defense and Homeland Security to submit a joint report within 90 days by April 20th, assessing conditions at the southern border and recommending whether to invoke the Insurrection Act. So recommendations are due. Recommendations are due. The Insurrection Act allows the president to deploy the military domestically to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion. The 90-day deadline naturally lands on April 20th, sparking speculation that this could be the moment Trump acts on the report's findings, reportedly declaring martial law if he frames border issues as a national crisis requiring military intervention. Easter is on April 20th. Are we going down an Easter bunny hole? Oh, stray kitten, you are so astute. You are so astute. I didn't even know that. Did anybody? Hey, if you knew Easter was going on April 20th, put a one in the chat. Don't be like, oh yeah, everybody knows that. Like right now, in the back of your brain housing group, did you go, wait a minute, that's Easter? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so the next thing is Mike Johnson did suspend House votes this week. That's interesting. That's interesting. So Gibbsby did. Debbie did not. Let's see. I love the honest answers. I appreciate you, Debbie. What's your yes? Bob Peter says not on 420. Star. I don't know what that means. Yes, I did. Um, Ian says no. Okay. Okay. This is all good. I love these honest votes. I love these honest votes. Now, I honestly don't know if someone's just pulling my chain because I don't know what day Easter is. I apologize. I don't know. I have problems remembering what day my birthday is. So it's really that easy. Now, let's talk about the symbolic historical associations. April 20 carries significant historical and cultural weight, which has fueled speculations about its selection. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but by the way, it's also Adolf Hitler's birthday, born April 20th, 1889. And I'm sure that the Elon haters are loving that. A fact that some commentators point as a dark coincidence, giving Trump's critiques often accuse him of authoritarian tendencies. Additionally, it's the anniversary of the 1999 Columbine shooting, a day associated with chaos and violence in the US. These connections lead some to suggest seriously or conspiratorially that Trump or his administration might deliberately choose this date for his symbolic resonance with control, upheaval, or extreme measures. Bum, bum, bum. If you guys got something to comment, now is the time to do it. Comments are good. Comments are good. They keep the ball rolling. They keep the joints lubricated. The joints of the live stream lubricated. Go into the chat. Rose says it's one of my brother's birthday, and his brother's bounces from Good Friday to Easter. Okay. Gibbs who says I'm making the ham on 420. I never forget a date when smoked ham is involved. I love it. I love it, Gibbsby. I love it. I love having you back in the chat, lady. What you're killing me. You're killing. You know why I don't remember? You know why I haven't talked to you in so long? Because I don't think. Oh, you are a member. You are a member, Gibbsby. Deanna says number one. All right, so let's go into the next part of that. The next part of that first question: public sentiment and conspiracy theories. Posts on platform like X and articles from various sources reveal a growing narrative among Trump's opponents that he's laying the groundwork for authoritarian rule. The April 20 date has been seized upon in these discussions, with some claiming it aligns with an engineered civil crisis, quote fingers activated, or immigration related unrest that could justify martial law. For instance, a dog whistle or a deliberate nod to authoritarianism, while others tie it to Trump's immigration crackdown rhetoric, suggesting he might use border security as a pretext. Hmm. West Virginia Pappy says 420 is usually a pretty hazy day. Let's see here. Practical considerations. Behind symbolism, April 20th, 2025 is simply the deadline set by the executive order. There's no direct evidence in official documents that the date was chosen for anything other than the 90-day timeline from Trump's inauguration. However, convergence of this guideline or this deadline with a potentially explosive political climate, mass deportations, protests, or border tensions had led observers to speculate that it could serve as a convenient trigger point for drastic actions like martial law. Well, let's see. Very hazy, West Virginia. Pappy Bob says, "Who want to? Who want to? Who want to hay the farm? I'll let you out." I don't know. No one knows what that means. Oops, but welcome to the live stream. I think Oops is a little on his 420 already, which is very possible and not a problem. Not a problem. So, answering that first question, I need a sip of coffee. In summary, on our first question to be answered, April 2025 has emerged as a focal point due to the timeline of Trump's executive order, amplified by its historical associations and current political tensions. While there's no concrete proof that Trump intended to declare martial law on this exact day or at all, the date's prominence in discourse reflects a mix of policy analysis, fear of authoritarianism, and the human tendency to find meaning in coincidences. Whether this reflects a genuine plan or just heightened public anxiety remains unclear as of now, given it's still April 2nd and events have yet to unfold. All right. So with that said, let me go to the chat here real quick here. Move hay everywhere. Move. I don't know what move before tornadoes. Okay. Ugh. Bradley says 420 is just a safe date to put crops in the ground here in Indiana. It's like a rough last Frost Day. Oh, I did not know that. Very interesting. You've educated me. I failed to educate myself before 9 a.m. this morning. I apologize. I haven't even watched the news yet this morning, so the whole everything could be on fire. I just got up, did everything I normally do, went on my freaking workout, and came back, and my computer didn't even work. So it's pretty awesome stuff. Okay. Let's see. Go to more personal. I'd love to be on a farm. Hey, gotcha. You okay? Oops. All right. So with that said, guys, I have to tell you, from working in the government, they love to, whenever somebody in charge in the government doesn't give enough time to a department or organization to formulate a required report, they can always fall back and say, you didn't give us enough time. 90 days is kind of the standard within the government unless it's an emergency. And believe it or not, in an emergency, they give them 30 days to create these reports or report back. So it is kind of standard. Now, with that said, we often talk about martial law. We often talk about martial law, what it would look like, how it would affect us. And that leads us to the second question. Has the US government ever declared martial law? This should be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and check the poll. Let's see, things have changed. Right now it's 70-30. The question is, do you think martial law will hit the US on April 20th, 2025? 70% say no, it's just rumors. 30% say maybe, depends on the borders. I would also ask everybody to remember that anybody who says that they're trying to use the border as a reason to declare martial law or go down the martial law reign would be not be saying intelligent things because it the people coming across the border has come down to a trickle. So it'd be hard to use that as justification. Going to the chat, let's see here. Oops says stray kitten up. Yep, just fine, except a ton to do with tornadoes coming again. Yeah, that sucks, man. Make sure you stay safe. Joshua Griffith. I don't think so. I think he has secured the border. However, if Iran pops off, there are a lot of Iran internal assets could also cause for demand on martial law. Okay, I mean that's legitimate, Joshua. I mean that's just if we find out that we have like all of these, here's the problem. Here's the problem with like if we found out that we had all of these terrorist organizations operating sleeper cells in the United States, and it would be foolish not to assume that. The and Like all of a sudden all hell broke loose. Um, and then the justification to declare martial law in order to weed these people out, I don't think that would hold weight. You can declare a national emergency and operate the same way that they're doing right now, where a national emergency was declared on the border on January 20th. This is just he just needs to know whether he needs to take it further. But we've got people, yesterday, with the immigration stuff that's going on. Yesterday, a an illegal alien was in court in Boston, and ICE agents went into the courtroom and arrested him and took him away. His lawyer wasn't even allowed to talk to him, just like took him away. I did see that the judge found an ICE agent in contempt of court. I don't think that that's going to do anything, but it is, it's not necessary to go to martial law to do those things. But it's still a great comment, Joshua. I guess Loretta's here. Rose is saying, don't see martial law being a real problem in the country. All police, sheriff, and National Guard being directed towards major points of distraction. Okay. Stray Kitten says, you didn't sound like yourself. Oops, you have a basement. uh, Oh, let's see here. Too many backwoods to cover here. Bradley says, not for the entirety of the country, but areas have had martial law put in action. Oops says, stray kitten, no basement in swamps, but I've in a whole valley and most blows over. Oh, good. Loretta says, if Ishmael and Isaac start throwing things our way, then possibly. Okay. Trey Kitten says, have you seen those above ground tornado shelters? All right, side conversations are IEDs. Whee! I know why. Cuck V, did you take that message out yourself, or did YouTube do that? That was kind of weird. I saw it and then it was gone. All right. So answering the second question, answering the second, IEDs were found in Dallas. When? When? I thought I read something about that last week, but I mean, is this something new? So the second question is, has the U.S. government ever declared martial law? The answer is yes. And surprisingly, it's happened more times than we would, basically know about. The U.S. government has declared martial law on several occasions throughout its history, though it's been rare at the federal level and more common at the state or local level. Martial law involves suspending ordinary civilian government and legal process, replacing them with military authority to maintain order during extreme crisis. And here are some examples. Let's see. The first one is New Orleans, 1815, during the War of 1812. General Andrew Jackson declared martial law in New Orleans on December 16th, 1814, as British forces approached during the War of 1812. He imposed curfews, suspended habeas corpus, and maintained military control even after the Battle of New Orleans ended on January 8th, 1815. Jackson lifted martial law on March 13, 1815, after confirming peace with Britain, but not before facing legal challenges, including a fine for arresting a judge who opposed him. This is often cited as the first significant federal use of martial law. Oh, no, not a fine. You don't have to read them aloud. I label my side conversations so you don't. How do you label them? How do you label them? Maybe I want to read them aloud, Stray Kitten. All right. The second time, the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. President Abraham Lincoln effectively instituted martial law in certain contexts by suspending habeas corpus in 1861 and 1862, particularly in border states like Maryland, where civilian courts were bypassed and military rule was imposed to suppress Confederate sympathizers. In 1863, the Supreme Court case Ex parte Milligan later ruled that martial law couldn't be applied where civilian courts were still functioning, setting a legal precedent, but not until after Lincoln's action had taken effect. Why is my phone is my phone blowing up, guys? Is somebody trying to reach me on the Discord and tell me something here? Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, Gibbsby, good to go. Good to go, lady. Nice. That I don't think that's something I want to. We're not going to share that, Gibbsby, unless you want me to. We already have a couple of people in here that are going in for heart surgery in the next few days, so that's up to you. But good. We'll talk to you in the Discord. All right, let's see here. Hawaii, the third time. Hawaii, World War II, 1941 to 1944. Following the Pearl Harbor attack on December 7th, 1941, Hawaii's territorial government, with federal backing, declared martial law that same day. The U.S. Army took over governance, suspending civil courts, imposing blackouts, and controlling food and labor. It lasted until October 24th, 1944, making it one of the longest instances of martial law in U.S. history. The Supreme Court later criticized aspects of this in Duncan versus Tohomaku, 1946, ruling that military trials for civilians were unconstitutional, where civilian courts could operate. Let's see here. Number four, labor strikes and riots. Interesting. Late 19th century, early 20th century. Martial law was declared at the state level during several industrial disputes. For example, the 1892 Idaho governor, Norman Wiley, imposed it during the Coeur d'Alene miners' strike, using the National Guard to arrest Union leaders. Similarly, in 1921, West Virginia Governor Ephraim Morgan declared martial law during the Battle of Blair Mountain, a coal miners' uprising, deploying state and federal troops to quell the violence. Um, and then what do we got here? We've got the fifth one, post Civil War Reconstruction. 1860s to 1870s. In southern states, military rule resembling martial law was imposed under Reconstruction Acts after the Civil War. Federal troops oversaw governance, suppressed insurgent groups like the Ku Klux Klan, and enforced order until civilian governments were reestablished. This wasn't formally called martial law everywhere, but it functioned as the same practice. Now, after at the federal level, martial law has been declared nationwide across the United States. Its use has typically been localized and tied to specific emergencies, war, rebellion, or national disasters. Now, with the Insurrection Act of 1807 still in effect, provides a legal framework for deploying troops domestically, often blurring the line between martial law and military assistance to civilian authorities. E.g., like during the 1992 Los Angeles riots, though not full martial law was applied. Now, historically, these instances show martial law as a drastic temporary measure, often controversial and legally contested after the fact. Its rarity at the federal level reflects both constitutional checks and a cultural aversion to military overreach in civilian life. Ooh, that's a lot of information for one question to be answered. All right, I'm going to go and let's go ahead and check the poll. The poll is whoa, we got some numbers changing. We've got 28 votes. Looks like I got 28 people in here. That's pretty freaking awesome. Do you think that martial law will happen? Will hit the U.S. on April 20th, 2025? 68% say no, it's just rumors. 25% say maybe, depends on the borders, and 4% say only in some states, and 4% say yes, Trump's planning it. Interesting, interesting. Coffee on board, I can now interact. Go, Ian, go. Go, Ian, go. Oh, I see. Side convo. I saw Ryan Hall promoting one and makes me some shelter. Would be solid. Oops. Yes. Okay, good. Several explosive devices found along a walking trail in Wayne Park, Texas. Dang, that is scary. When did that happen, Joshua? Let's see here. Cindy showed up. Good morning, young lady. Um, Let's see here. Ian says the benefit of living in the countryside, law enforcement will most likely be too busy with the cities to deal with the country folk. Yes, which means we can do what we must do. Jimbowski, good to see you, bro. Don't recognize you. Make sure you subscribe. It feels like things aren't right in America, and weeding out transplant troublemakers would be great, but how do we actually do that? And you've I don't know why, but it posted your comment twice. Not a big deal. That's a YouTube thing. Um, how do we do that? Well, I mean, these transplants. I don't know what you're referring to. That's the first thing I'd have to say. I don't know what your political ideological leanings are. But we've got some bad stuff going on. It's been going on for a long time, and it's all being uncovered. And like roaches that have been flipped over on their backs, they are just kicking their legs. It's called a death throw. And it's their final fight before they go the way of the white buffalo. Now, will things actually happen? It's very difficult to tell. And honestly, we may have a great 4 years. We may have a great 2 years because if the left finds a way to take control of the House, then jig is up. We may have to. The Captain Red Tie may have to declare a national emergency, and because nothing can get done, and then all the courts are going to get involved. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's what people that lack common sense, that lack the American spirit, are scared the most of. They're scared that Trump is going to say, your legal attacks on me don't matter anymore. I don't care anymore. They have done everything in their power to try and stop this guy from either holding office, and when he did, it was a battle every single day to get anything done whatsoever. And he still managed to do it. I mean, we're inside of the what I think we're inside of 65 days or something like that, and he's doing so much stuff. It's a blitzkrieg. It's crazy. He's just overwhelming them to the point where Cory Booker, who's spoke for 24 hours, uh, 24 straight hours on the Senate floor yesterday, he looked like he was about to lose, like about to crap his panties. He was looking pretty bad. He was just like blah 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 blah, and just so he wouldn't screw up and and uh, and give the floor away, he literally had a card to keep him to read the exact words that he had to read to keep the floor every time he let somebody else speak. Um, so is he? Yeah, we're not going to go into politics, but I personally think he was trying to look presidential. He did get a, he thinks that he's going to have a Spartacus moment. He's going to unify the party somehow, and right now he's probably sleeping. You know what I'm saying? But there's no telling what's going on. But the bottom line is that there are bad people in our country. Oh, look, the chat's working. I just noticed it. Look, look, the chat's working. I love it. There are bad people in the world, and we have to deal with them. It's that easy. Uh, William says, "Good morning, class. Late to the party." Let's see here. Where are we at here? Uncovered, but no one in prison. I know, and the thing is, it's like so. Oops. Here's the thing. If these people did something illegal, then they should be charged. But a lot of the things they were doing aren't illegal. They wrote the laws so that they would not be illegal. So no one's going to jail. If that's your like preponderant, if that is your focus of justice, then you're going to be waiting a long time. It's that easy. So I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Uh, Pinball says he was wearing prepared or wearing depends. That's possible. It's possible. Let's see here. Wisconsin Dems got a big win yesterday. Oh, they did. Ah, okay. Huh. Well, I mean, the other thing too on that one is that they just can't. They want the argument is that if the Dems won that Supreme Court seat, that would they would be able to gerrymander, or they would be able to redraw the maps to get rid of, two Republican seats in lieu of two Democrat seats. And it's like, okay, well, that takes a lot of freaking time. That takes a lot of time. And that can be overruled by the actual Supreme Court. So those are things that take a long time. So I don't know if I'd worry about it, but yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Straight Kitten says MAGA didn't turn out yesterday in Wisconsin. Is MAGA going to let us down again midterms? There's no telling. Stray Kitten, and we're kind of getting off subject here, but I'm going to answer your question. People in the Republican Party love the build up to a good fight, and after they do that, all they want to do is go, winners, and they lose their political prowess. They dull their teeth and eat their mush, when they should be carnivores all the time, because that's exactly what they're up against, and they forget that every single time. It's so stupid. um, Rose says, "Did you consider May 1961 during the Freedom Riders coming to support the civil rights movement in Alabama?" I don't think that was martial law. I think they just activated the National Guard on that. Let's see. Ian says, "Kind of reminds me of the days during the filibusters. They would just read names out of the phone book." I know, right? He actually went kind of crazy. He really yeah. I don't think he read Green Eggs and Ham or anything like that, but he was doing pretty good. Not illegal, but nation invaded treason. Gotcha. All right, let's see here. So based on history, actually hey, oh, everybody freeze. Nobody move. Quick. We've reached that point in the live stream where we've got to put one in the chat if you love your country. Erica, I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to talk some smack. I'm going to read you some really good gouge because this is an educational channel and I am going to pay the bills. Guys, I've got EMP Shield up in honor of our giveaway. Our giveaway tomorrow is our giveaway will start tomorrow. Brand new EMP Shield. The video will drop. You may enter to win at 3 p.m. today. I'm gonna open up this box for you right here on the table real quick and show you that I'm not joking. There's the instructions. I'm not joking. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. There's the sticker. There's the sticker. Got an EMP shield. Oh, the sticker. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen how they pack these things. It's kind of interesting because inside the box, this is the way it comes packed. Boom. 3 wires, positive, negative ground. It can install in 15 minutes. $399 value. It's actually $499 value, but oh, it goes in weird. Come here, you boxes and parts and everything over. And that's it. There's no magic to this, guys. It's really simple. The video will drop at 3 p.m. today. Follow the rules, and you will be entered to win. I'll let that video set for 1 week. And next Monday will be the actual drawing video. So, if you guys are interested in purchasing an EMP shield yourselves, I've been told, little birdie told me that they're doing double coupons, double codes. So they actually have like a savings code on them right now, and then you could apply. You could apply. You could apply it. Where's it? I always mess this up. You could apply that code and save even more money. How do you get there? You go to the link. The link in the description. It says prepper gear I like. You scroll down, you find the EMP shield, and you go there. It's that easy. It is that easy. All right, let's see here. What do we got here? No, the governor did declare martial law on 21st. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess I did not see that, Rose. Nice. Is it just me or is audio low? Is my audio low, guys? Because it's like I'm literally this close to the microphone. I don't know. Let me know. I'll turn some knobs if you think the audio's low. But I'm going to need to hear it from more than one person. I think the audio's low because you're underground and there's a tornado over the top of your head. Not joking. Oops, just you have in good sound. Okay, so let's go with based on scan. You're saying it's low as well. I mean, I've got this thing cranked up. I've got my microphone cranked up all the way on that end. No, it's 5 by 5. Let's see here. I'm gonna do that. I turned it up just a little bit. I turned it up just a little bit. How does that sound, guys? Does that sound better? Is that better? Bueller, Bueller, anyone, anyone? Definitely the user. Okay, so based on history, what could martial law look like for Americans today? Now, based on historical precedent, the current context of American society as of April 2nd, which would be today, Liberation Day, martial law today would likely involve a dramatic shift from civilian governance to military control tailored to the specific crisis prompting it. Now, say widespread civil unrest or a border security escalation or a catastrophic national emergency. Here's what it could look like for Americans drawing from past examples and modern realities. In the first case, the suspension of civil liberties. Historically, martial law has meant suspending habeas corpus as the Civil War or imposing curfews and censorship, as in Hawaii during World War II. Today, this could translate to restricted movement. Think nationwide lockdowns enforced by armed troops at checkpoints, especially in urban areas or near borders. Freedom of speech might be curtailed, with social media platforms like X monitored or shut down to prevent incitement. And arrests without immediate trials could spike if courts are sidelined. A lot of people don't think about that. If you get arrested, you just get put in a holding pen, and they basically feed water and bathe you and give you a rack and say, "Stay there until we figure this out, man." Because the civilian courts would be turned off. Interesting. The other thing to think about is military presence in our daily lives. Picture the National Guard on active duty, or active duty soldiers patrolling your streets, replacing local police in hotspots. In 1941, Hawaii, the Army ran everything from traffic to food distribution. Now with advanced tech, this could include drones surveilling neighborhoods, military control of critical infrastructure, power grids, internet hubs, and troops stationed at grocery stores or hospitals to manage shortages or riots. Now, rural areas might see less, but cities could feel like occupied zones. Not a joke. Legal system overhaul is something that we would definitely see. Past martial law often bypass civilian courts. Lincoln's military tribunals and Hawaii's provost courts are examples of this. Today, if martial law were declared, say, under the Insurrection Act, military courts might handle cases tied to the crisis, looting, protests, or immigration violations, especially if civilian judges are deemed too slow or compromised. Regular criminal cases could stall, leaving a backlog and confusion over rights like bail or due process, because those things actually get suspended during martial law. Um, the economic and social disruption would be a thing. So during the War of 1812 and World War II, martial law disrupted trade and labor. In 2025, supply chains that are already fragile could grind to a halt under military rationing or border closures. Businesses might shutter if deemed non essential, and workers could be conscripted for emergency tasks, things like building fortifications or cleaning debris up. Socially, schools might close, public gatherings could be banned, and dissenters, activists, or even online influencers might face swift detention. Oh no, not that. Not that. There's also what they call a modern tech twist. Unlike past instances, today's martial law would leverage technology, facial recognition, cell phone tracking, and AI driven threat analysis could pinpoint troublemakers in real time. Communication blackouts might hit specific regions, cutting off internet or cell service to isolate unrest. The government could also seize control of digital payments, freezing bank accounts or suspending agitators, or I'm sorry, of suspected agitators. A step unimaginable in 1815 or 1941, but it did happen in Canada. Remember that? You guys remember that? Um, Something else is the public reaction and resistance. Now, Americans in 2025 are more polarized and armed than in past eras. Historical martial law faced pushback, with Jackson's find, the Reconstruction violence. But today's response could be fiercer, protests escalating to armed standoffs, especially in states with strong gun cultures. And rural militias or urban activists might resist, seeing it as tyranny, while others might compel or comply out of fear or exhaustion. Now, social media, if still active, would explode with real time footage and competing narratives. It's pretty interesting what it would look like. And I think it's time to go to the poll. What do we got in the poll here? We've got question is, do you think martial law will hit the US on April 20th, 2025? 65% say no, it's just rumors. 24% say maybe, depends on the borders, and 6% say yes, Trump's planning it, and 6% say only in some states. I'm going to go to the chat here. Let's see. I had to get my phone out to fix my breakfast and listen. There you go, Skanes girl. You are loud and clear. All righty then. Up here, we got Laszlo showing up. Good morning, my friend. Let's see here. Let's see. West Virginia papacy. I look for price gouging before tariffs actually affect inventory. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen today. There's supposed to be a speech today, and the tariffs are supposed to go into immediate effect. Kind of like Mardi Gras. You see, you can get around martial law with an e-bike or something. Hmm, maybe. Rose says, "Yep, bed and kiss till they find out what they think is best for government, not the people." What's supposed? Justice says, "What's supposed to happen on 420?" Justin, have you not been here the whole time? Were you not paying attention? There's a bunch of wackos out there that think that because the president signed an executive order back in January that he gave a deadline uh, uh, for a report to be ordered given to him whether he should recommend whether they recommended using the what was it brah, you're killing me, let's see here, what was it, national security border, the Insurrection Act of 1807. So there's a bunch of people out there that think that that's an ominous date. So we're talking about it a little bit, and we are where are we at here? You got me all screwed up, man. You got me all screwed up trying to cater to you. Damn it. And that's what we're talking about. But look in the poll. You'll know what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Saw a video of in London they use cameras to identify people, even though it's illegal to forcefully take ID. Oh, well, an interesting thing about that. I was reading about the camera systems that they use in England that have facial identification on it. They're freaking everywhere, and they actually use them to prosecute people. Um, and the the facial recognition on their system is so bad that less than 50% of the time, it's like 48.7% of the time, it's right. Less than 50% of the time, and they're still moving forward with implementing these systems everywhere. It's crazy. 26 people in the chat, only 17 thumbs up. Please hit that thumb. Yes, please. Thumbs up. Guys, I appreciate you. Let's see here. Stray Kitten says, if you want to buy out or get home during martial law to get around roadblocks. Yes, yes. I didn't say it was a bad idea, but it it is what it is. Let's see here. So let's do a scenario tie-in on April 20th, 2025. If we tie it to the speculated border crisis from Trump's executive order, martial law might focus on southern state first. Troops sealing off crossings, mass detentions of undocumented immigrants, and military sweeps in sanctuary cities. P.S. There's already 2,500 troops at the southern border. Protests from both pro and anti immigration groups could trigger wider clampdowns, spreading the military footprint. The April 20 deadline for the border report could serve as the legal and political pivot, with Trump's citing insurrection or invasion to justify it. Now, scopes and limits. Historically, martial law has been localized in New Orleans, Hawaii, rather than nationwide. And courts later reined it in, ex parte, Milligan, Duncan. Today, a full national declaration would be unprecedented and likely face immediate Supreme Court challenges, unless chaos overwhelmed the judiciary. More plausibly, it'd be regional, targeting specific crisis zones, with the military assisting rather than fully replacing civilian rule elsewhere, which is what they're doing on the border now anyway. For everyday Americans, it'd feel like a mix of wartime austerity and police state vigilance. Soldiers on corners, empty shelves, silenced phones, and a nagging uncertainty about when or if normalcy returns. The exact flavor would depend on the trigger, but the historical thread is clear. Martial law trades freedom for order, and modern tools would make it both more efficient and more invasive than ever. Than ever. All right, so before we go to, I see you guys typed a few things in the chat there before we go on to the fourth question. Let's see here. Michigan militia will resist martial law. I believe that, Cuck. I believe that. Um, let's see here. Criminals. Rose says criminal intent and other small screen versus large screen have suggested use of camera system to identify all. Gotcha. All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and knock this out. We got about 10 minutes left. Looks like I'm actually going to make my timeline. I had a lot of pages here. I had a lot of pages here. So the fourth question to be answered. If Americans believe that martial law is going to happen on April 20th, what should they do to prepare now? If Americans believe martial law might be declared on April 20th, preparations would hinge on anticipating the disruptions and restrictions outlined earlier. If you have an idea to answer that question, put it in the chat now. It's going to help. Disruptions and restrictions outlined earlier, military control, limited mobility, and potential breakdowns in service. Here's a practical guide on historical patterns and modern realities without endorsing the likelihood of it actually happening. So, for all my lefty nutbags that may be listening right now, I'm not endorsing anything. I'm simply saying this would be a great way to prepare. Number one, stockpile essentials, food and water. Aim for a 30-day supply of non-perishable food, canned goods, rice, pasta, etc., and at least 1 gallon of water per person per day. Historically, martial law, basically, let's use Hawaii, 1941, often disrupted supply chains, and the border related unrest could snarl trade further. Now, medications. Secure a 60-day supply of prescriptions as pharmacies might close or face shortages. Over the counter basics, painkillers, first aid are also key. This is another reason we tell people to get yourself a Jace case. Link in description. Cash. ATMs and digital payments could fail if banks are restricted or power is cut. Keep small bills handy, 500, 1,000 per household. Since past crises show cash often remains king when systems falter. All right, so we've just talked about stockpiling the essentials. Let me look at the chat here. What do we got? Let's see here. The problem with martial law is most of the National Guard are aware of associates that are prepared, kind of, but you have to remember with martial law that the active duty military would likely be the people who would be used the most. Tim says, too late, should already be prepared. There you go. There you go. Tim's like, too late. Which we'll cover a little bit here. Lazy says, lazy frumentarian. Woo, made it. Better late than never. I know, right? You're so lazy. Be on time, lazy. Oops says most cities are already camera up. All linked in stores, businesses, and casinos. Know who you are the instant you're on the cam. Yeah. Oh, and AI is not joking about it. Tim says acquiring large quantities of anything will flag you now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it's really easy to buy, 30 days worth of food is it's not that hard to buy. It's not that hard to buy. Cuckfee says, buy lots of food, ammo, firearms, ham, GMRS radios. There you go. Kane says, agreed, Tim, but you have time to stock up on food and water, medical supplies, pet supplies would be a good time to check your inventory. Absolutely. Oops, every home can be linked to COP system if you want your home included. That's true. Ian says, I give only 10% chance of something, and that would only be at the borders or international airports of something happening. Gotcha. I got you. All right. So number two, number number two, plan for restricted movement. Fuel up, fill your gas tank, and keep extra fuel safely stored, of course, if you can. Curfews and checkpoints could limit travel, as seen in New Orleans in 1850. Stay local. Map out routes to nearby essentials like grocery stores or hospitals that avoid the likely military zones. Think highways or city centers. Have a bike or walking plan if roads are blocked, or a little bike like someone was just talking about. Documents. Keep IDs, passports, and key papers, deeds, insurance in a grab and go bag. Military authorities might demand proof of identity or residency, especially near borders. Yeah. You show me your papers. Can I see your papers? Please let's see your papers. That's what martial law is really about. So, and it's probably nice. It's probably a good feeling to be able to show them your driver's license and go, yeah, dude, I live down the street. I'm here, man. Oh, okay, good. Go. Get out of here. Um, let's see here. Secure, we already did near borders, secure communication. Now, backup power. Get a solar charger or battery pack for phones, internet, and cell service might be cut, as modern tech could enable a hand crank radio can keep you tuned to emergency broadcasts, a tactic used in World War II era martial law. Also, low tech options. Agree on a family meetup spot and physical message drops, e.g., a note at the neighbors if phone fails. Also, there's something called a dead drop. You might want to look it up. Past martial law, silenced communication, and today's reliance on digital could amplify that risks. And then lastly, stay discreet. Avoid posting plans or panic on platforms like X, because that's what the crazy left will be doing. Military monitoring could flag vocal dissenters, a plausible leap from historical censorship. I'm here to tell you right now that the U.S. military does have embedded within specifically their special, well, I can't even say that. They have the ability to monitor social media with tools that were designed for people that came from three-letter organizations. Not a joke, it's a real thing. It's actually part of the battlefield preparation. Okay, let's see here. Fortify home and safety. Basic defense, locked doors, board windows if unrest nears. Riots or looting often shadowed martial law, e.g., like Blair Mountain 1921. Legal firearms should be secured but accessible if you're trained. Americans' gun ownership could spark localized clashes. Keep a low profile. Avoid drawing attention. Lights off at night, no loud gatherings. Military patrols might target trouble spots based on noise or activity. Community ties. Know your neighbors. Mutual aid was critical in past crises when official help lagged. A trusted group can share resources or intel. Prepare mentally and legally. Know your rights. Martial law suspends norms, but the Constitution and cases like Ex parte Milligan suggest limits. Military can't fully override civilian law where courts function. Keep a pocket constitution or legal cheat sheet. It might help in a pinch. Stay calm. Panic fuels bad decisions. Historical examples show compliance often kept people safer than defiance, unless directly threatened. Have a family plan to reduce stress. Kids especially need a routine. Document everything. If detained or questioned, note times, names, and badge numbers if visible. Courts later overturned abuses, e.g., Hawaii World War II cases, but only with evidence. And number six, where we're at here, and number six, adapt to the trigger. If it's border related, per the April 20th speculation, expect heavier impacts near Mexico, Texas, Arizona, or sanctuary cities like LA or Chicago. Stock extra if you're in those areas. Consider a temporary relocation to a quieter area if feasible. If unrest spreads, protests, counter protests, and such, urban dwellers face more risk than rural ones. Adjust plans based on your spot on the map. Now, quick realism check. No one knows if April 20th will bring martial law. It's speculation tied to that executive order deadline. And that's really about it. Historically, it's been localized, not nationwide, and legal pushback follows. Prep as if it's a hurricane or a blackout. enough to ride out chaos, not a doomsday bunker. Overreacting could waste resources or even escalate tensions. Um, Balance is key. Now, starting now, okay? Starting now, we're going to close it up with this. Starting now, if you're serious, 18 days isn't much time to gather supplies or even plan. Focus on what you can control and keep an ear to reliable updates as the date nears. If it's just hype, you've got a solid emergency kit either way. Patriot says my audio is low. I just turned the audio up. It is like maxed out. Everything is maxed out. So I'm wondering if YouTube isn't doing something. When am I turn this dial into right? Volume. That's the headphone volume. I've turned up that. See what do we got out here? We got the gain is up. Everything is up. The microphone. Patriot JC, thanks for saying that. But the microphone is like 4 inches from my mouth. I can literally like yeah. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go to the chat here real quick. Actually, no, you know what? We're gonna go to the poll real quick because let's go ahead and close the poll out, guys. We've got a lot of votes in there. Currently, the question continues to be: do you think martial law will hit the U.S. on April 20th, 2025? No, it's just rumors at 63% winning out. Let's see here. 24% say maybe, depends on the borders. 8% say only in some states, and 5% say yes, Trump's planning it. With that said, I'm going to go to the chat here. Let's see. We got the too late. Most cities are already camera up, acquiring large quantities for anything. Flag you now. Um, Scain Zero says, agreed, Tim, but you have to stock up on food and water, medical supplies, pet supplies would be a good time to check your inventory. Oops says, even homes can be linked. We've already gone through this. Um, Rose says, know your local police systems. Encourage linking your security to them. Okay. Rose says, have duplicate IDs in case someone keeps them or you are robbed. Interesting. Skeins girl, I feel confident. I personally won't have a lot of issues with martial law here. I hardly get out anyway because I don't need to. There you go. The attack on the alphabet agencies. And let's see here. Rose says, become proficient with alternate weapons styles in case guns confiscated, i.e., bows, slingshots, that can be deadly but more silent, knowing there are deficiencies with these. All right, so we've hit our 1 hour mark, guys. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. And as usual, do me a favor, make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. It's free and it's good for me. Um, yeah, that's going to be about it. Don't forget the giveaway starts at 3 p.m. Eastern today. That video will drop then. Follow the directions, follow the rules. Otherwise, you will not be compliant. Yes, I will check every entry. Not a joke. I check every entry. Um, that's going to be about it. Hopefully, you guys have a great day. Stay safe. I said it backwards. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you, which will be in the next video. Bye bye. Oh, you're still here. That's because I forgot to tell you. If you're a member and you are not part of the Discord, if you're a Doomsday member and you're not part of the Discord, you are screwing up. Go through the members' videos. You'll see where I made one specially for you and get your butt in the Discord. That's all. Bye bye.